We'll move on to the next session now. That was Stephen Van Bellingham from Belgium. And the next session is also another interesting one. We have a leadership keynote on building a software product nation in the next normal. And our keynote speaker is Dr. Omkar Rai, who's the Director General of Software Technology Parks of India. A little about Dr. Rai. He is, since he's the Director General of Software Technology Parks of India, it is a premier government organization working for the promotion of IT, ITES, ESDM industry in India. Dr. Rai has contributed immensely in repositioning STPI with focus on innovation and dispersal of IT, ESDM industry beyond metros. He brings 30 years of experience in IT, ESDM sector, having unique distinction of working very closely with government and the IT, ESDM industry. He has been instrumental in formulating an appropriate interface among industry, academia, and the IT ESDM industry. He is working for the formulation of incubation programs and Center of Excellence, COES, for IT ESDM sector to promote startups, entrepreneurship, innovation, and software product creation in the country. Dr. Rai has been educated in Banaras Hindu University, from where he has earned his bachelor's degree, his master's degree, and also his PhD degree in statistics. I warmly welcome you, Dr. Omkar Rai, sir. And for the audience, in case you have any questions, kindly use the Q&A box to post your questions, and we shall try and get to them at the end of the session. Welcome you, Dr. Rai, and over to you, sir, for your keynote address.
Thank you very much for the opportunity and for a very liberal introduction, very great introduction. Thank you very much for that. I must express my gratitude towards ABP, not only for this initiative, but also for affording an opportunity to me to share my thoughts. And I must again congratulate ABP for this great forum. And I'm very, it's a matter of pleasure for me that I am getting opportunity year on year to share my thoughts on this very important forum. I would say that the theme of this INFOCOM 2020 is around is the next normal, and it has been derived from the fact that during this pandemic COVID-19 lockdown, we have seen emergence of new normals across the country and across the sectors of economy. Because of the resilience that has been shown, because of the adaptability that has been expressed and exhibited by people of this country at large. I would, as the topic of my talk is around building a software product nation is the next new normal, I would say that the seed of this so-called software product nation was sown way back in 80s, when India established a very solid foundation of IT services industry based on the talent and cost arbitrage. And this can be seen from the fact that in 1992-93, India exported software services in the tune of 520 million Indian rupees, which has risen to $150 billion export in year 2019-20. The overall revenue of IT services industry in India has grown to $191 billion. This sector employs currently about 4.4 million professionals, engineers across the value chain. And as is a fact and known by all stakeholders that the Indian IT services industry has continuously moved up the value chain. It once started delivering services to its customers at the bottom of the value chain. And now the Indian IT services industry is nothing but a R&D outsourcing industry. We are actually powering and serving the R&D requirement of our customers from all across the world. And therefore, if you look at the profile of IT services industry in India, this industry is actually doing R&D, creating technology product, giving consultancy to their customers. And therefore, it's a knowledge industry, it's a product creation industry. Of course, this has been characterized as a service, which is outsourcing industry, R&D as a service we have been extended to our customers. If we look at the entire journey, we find that most of the multinationals from all across the world have created their R&D centers in India, owing to the talent and cost arbitrage both. And that those factors, those pillars of the IT services industry continue to be there in play. And therefore, we still maintain the cost arbitrage, we still maintain the availability of world-class talent in these sectors. Over a period of time, as the world has grown in terms of is moving towards Industry 4.0, we are creating so many products, so many things, so many IPRs. And therefore, the focus of the rest of the world is towards creation of IPR, technology products, software products. And therefore, if we talk about what India is aspiring today, that India, at a time when we are leaders in IT outsourcing industry, in the entire world with 56% of the global share in the market, global market, we are actually trying to build on this strength based on the talent and the cost arbitrage, and trying to capitalize on the indigenous demand, because this COVID-19 lockdown period, Indians have shown a lot of adaptability to digital platforms. The brand consciousness of Indians have now gone down in terms of they're ready to consume the made in India products. The resilience of Indian IT industry has grown, and digital footprint, digital profile of India has grown. We have seen the emergence of people in the hinterland, in the rural areas are now going towards using the broadbands, the data connectivity is growing, access to the information, digital platform, the aspiration to connect to on these platforms has grown. We have seen that during this period, Indians continued to deliver educational services through collaborative platform, medical services, health services, the uses of online gaming platforms have grown up. We have been consuming the digital content. It has grown manifold. And therefore, the entire scenario, the entire profile of India has grown and transformed to that point that Indians are now being seen more as a domestic market rather than the export market. And that is one of the drivers for growth of the software product industry in India. We know that we have talent, as I have spoken, we are actually creating software product for our customers all across the world. And therefore, while we are maintaining our leadership in IT services, India, even way back in 2019, came up with the National Policy on Software Product 2019, we call it. And we could foresee that India has to become a software product industry in another 5 to 10 years. And because of that, we envisioned to take the software product industry of India somewhere between $70 to $80 billion by 2025. And for that, we have decided to take a number of initiatives. We have that number in mind that we will promote about 10,000 technology startups all across the country in emerging technology. And the ministries, the governments, and other organizations, the ecosystem, we have decided to make a collaborative effort to make sure that we are able to provide all sorts of infrastructure support, policy support, access to capital, access to mentors, access to domestic market, to the upcoming startup young boys and girls, so that they create product which is consumed within India and their quality is as good as export world-class quality, so that they can later on export their product to the rest of the world, thereby creating a lot of wealth and opportunity for our countrymen. And this is something which is happening right now. You may like to look at the kind of initiative that the stakeholders are taking right now. the Ministry of Electronics and IT Government of India is engaged with Indulge in launching so many challenge grant programs. Very recently, we concluded a challenge grant program for collaborative platform, indigenous collaborative platform. Just recently, we concluded a challenge grant program for smart water meters. Uh, and most importantly, all these challenge programs that are being launched by various government departments are actually an effort to make sure that we share our problem that we face today. And those problems are, we are inviting the young boys and girls to come and solve those problems. And in turn, we are, offering the market to them. This is becoming a phenomena of the day. So governments of the day are making a participatory effort to make sure that young boys and girls come forward, solve the problem, create technology products, and the government would use those products, and that is how the indigenous market will be created and problems will be solved. This is a way to promote the entrepreneurship within this country and to create the software product. Apart from that, a great thirst is being made in terms of promoting the culture of innovation across the country, to inculcate the ideation in young boys and girls right at the root level, in the school level, in the university level, and the engineering college level, so that the young boys and girls and students, while they are studying, they must develop that knack of ideation, so that they should have that endeavor, aspiration to indulge into entrepreneurship and try their hands at some kind of new product creation or new ideation. This is the kind of culture this is being promoted by the stakeholders at large in this nation. I must say that this is the new normal. And in times to come, the fruits of this entire upcoming ecosystem will be realized on the ground. And India will be able to, have a great share in the in the software product market of the world. As I said, we have a target aspiration of taking our software industry, software product industry, somewhere between a 70 to 80 billion dollar. But this is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of the story. And we will soon, because of the fact that we have the talent within this nation, we have the caste arbitrage advantage in this nation, and I'm very sure that we'll be able to build on this. I would like to remind the audience and also to all the stakeholders that based on this very tacit foundation, we have seen the emergence of India Stack in this nation. We have seen a quick creation of Aadhaar platform, UPI platform, government e-marketplace, Jandhan Aadhaar Trinity. We have seen the uses of Aadhaar platform in not only government delivery of services to the citizens of this nation, but also creation of so many technology products around it. We have also seen that this caste arbitrage and IT services industry of this nation has been able to power a very strong IT startup ecosystem in this nation. But the kind of platform like Flipkart, MakeMyTrip.com, Naukri.com, Ola platform, Yo Room platform, all these platforms have been have become successful for the talent we had, the caste arbitrage that we still maintain, and that is how the entrepreneurs of this nation could create these robust technology platform at the fraction of cost that their counterparts and competitors from rest of the world have been investing in US and European geographies. And that is how we have become very, very competitive on the grounds. As I said, the startup ecosystem, which started with one unicorn in 2012, have grown to 30 unicorns by now. And we foresee that we will be able to create about 52 unicorns by 2022. This is the kind of number which is so exciting for us. This is the kind of journey that gives up assurance and hope that in times to come, India would actually become a software product nation, a nation where we would create so many products, technology products, IPRs, and give a much needed leadership to the rest of the world in times to come. I would say that the kind of initiative like the stakeholders are taking right now uh, are evident on the ground. The creation of centers of excellence as software technology parks of India is doing right now is one such initiative. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Electronics and IT, concerned state governments, the academic institution, the academia at large, the industry association and industry leaders at the end of the day, because they are the people who are leading these centers of excellence initiative of STPI, which is being created to afford much needed access to the mentor pool, to the seed capital, to the market, to the technology, to the lab, to the standards, best practices, and all such things which are required to make sure that a young boy and girl or anybody who wants to ideate and create some technology product are given all sorts of support in STPI centers of excellence. These centers of excellence that I have just talked about are so far has been created in the field of IoT, uh, blockchain, fintech, meditech, augmented reality, virtual reality, on autonomous, connected, electric and shared vehicles, animation, gaming, and visual effect. All these technologies are being used to create the infrastructure to labs so that a young boy and girl or anybody who's picked up through a screening process can be given all sorts of support here. In again, I would say that all the centers of excellence that STPI has planned so far will end up creating 25 centers of excellence. They all will be networked. And in turn, these COEs will be networked with the Ministry of Electronics and IT's startup hub, MSH, which is an again hub of several centers of excellence and incubators being created countrywide. These center of excellence and networked uh, environment will afford much needed knowledge sharing, sharing of best practices, best mentor pool, and most importantly, access to the market uh, at the end of the day. And I am very sure that all these things coming up in place in times to come, India will be able to, not only able to create products and technology services for our countrymen to solve the problem that country faces today, but there will be products which will be based on the ideation of very futuristic products, which will not only be consumed by Indians, but also will be consumed by the people from rest of the world, which would lead in the turn in growth of the export, bring a lot of prosperity and wealth for our country, and in turn create jobs. I would thank AVP again for this opportunity, and I will be open for any question from the audience. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir. Dr. Rai, sir. There are some questions. The first question is from Mr. Devjoy Guha. He is asking that how do you keep the energy, enthusiasm, and interest up with the development team and business with complex long-term projects?
Mm-hmm. I would say that the complex and long-term projects have to be sustained with the funding, with the long-term goal of creating something which is tested technology and becomes a product over a period of time. Uh, you know that the services require instant deployment, whereas if you are creating something which is based on ideation and idea, it becomes a technology product. And therefore, these kind of projects have to be sustained with a lot of investment and patience.
Okay, sir. So the next question is from Mr. Joydeep Ghosh. He's asking that with AI, taking the lead now, how long will it take for India to match with countries like US or UK in developing AI infrastructure and services?
See, just recently I have seen a news article emerging out of this conference itself that the implementation of AI or adoption of AI would help India to generate wealth around $500 billion by 2022 or something. I must say that AI actually is going to enhance the productivity, enhance the efficiency, and would help India a great addition in their value added in GDP. I must say that India has a different model. We work in a very different manner, wherein government would take care of the ease of doing business, creation of proper rule, conducive environment for the investment. It is the industry of India, academia of India, which takes the lead and deploys the technology, create the technology. And therefore, the stakeholders like industry, the academia, they have to take a lead and create world-class products. Based on the competition, the industry and other users will use those technologies and make themselves efficient and enhance their productivity. So it is not only a government support that would actually drive the growth in the AI. In fact, all of us have to work together as per our mandate and requirement and adopt AI in our products, in our services, in our offering that we are doing right now. And that is how I foresee the uses of AI in India.
Okay, so the next question is, sir, in your speech, you said by 2025, we are expected to have software exports of about $70 to $80 billion. So what is the current figure in terms of the software exports? That is part one. And part two is, what is the percentage of market share of India in terms of the globe?
So there are two things. I mean, I referred about IT outsourcing market. I said that India has 56% of the global outsourcing market share right now. So we are leader in that, which is translated in terms of export, which is around $147 billion right now. We are leader in that. But as I said, in terms of software product, we are still at infancy. We have about $10 billion revenue in software product market in India, whereas world over the software product market stands at $520 billion, which is expected to grow to $1 trillion by 2025. And therefore, keeping in view of our minimal share in the software product market, as I said, as I informed the audience, that we had already come up with national policy on software product 2019. And subsequent to that, several initiatives have been taken and put in place to make sure that we also create software product. And we want to take software product industry in India somewhere between $70 to $80 billion by 2025. So this is the kind of ambition that we have right now.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And it is always a privilege and honor to have you. You've been with us for many years, sir, and we are much grateful for STPI's participation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.